Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. I'm Whitney, the literal hands, and in this case I mentioned a couple times my freckled arms behind Cheeky Goat Soapery. I am going to be doing another wood grain soap tonight because you guys liked the first one so much. So I had some questions about how many colors I used, and in that one obviously we only use 3, right? We use the color of the fragrance oil, and we use a little bit of titanium dioxide and then a little bit of gold mica. So I had some questions about, well, what if you use more colors? And there's a lot of people who use more colors very successfully. So I figured I would do a pickled wood with some of these colors. So this is a navy blue that I mix up. It's from Nurture Soap. I'm not going to give away that recipe. I'm sorry. I really like it. I made it and I don't want to share it just yet. This is sea green with velvet pearl. This is celestial silver with velvet pearl and just like a little bit of titanium dioxide. This one is actually from Brambleberry, and it is steel pillowcase with a little bit of velvet pearl. And then this is just some titanium dioxide. So in this case, I want to do a pickled wood, and I will show a picture of what pickled wood looks like up here in the corner. If you've never seen it before, it's just like blues and grays and it's washed out. It's very pretty. So I'm going to do that with the main of these 3 colors and actually the white, and my highlight color is actually going to be this gray, which I might highlight some with some blue just for some difference in color, but most of it's going to be this color tone, this palette. So let's make some soap. All right, so the fragrance oil I'm using tonight is Mahogany Teakwood. This is from Muddy Soap Co. It does discolor just a little tannish. I'd actually forgotten about this fragrance oil. I used it in my spring release last year, and I liked it. I used it, and I just kind of, like, oh, this is nice, and I put it up on the shelf. This is the lye solution going in. It's got raw silk, powdered sugar, and sodium lactate. Anyway, so my friend Nathan at Clover Soapery, Clover. I don't know. There's a clover involved, and it says "Get Lucky." That's what I remember. Smell lucky? Is it smell lucky or get lucky? Oh, it's terrible. I'm terrible. I'm sorry, Nathan. Anyway, so he mentioned it to me again the other day, and I was like, oh, I think I have that one, and I do, and I did, and so and he had used it, and he noted that, oh, it does discolor a little bit, and I was like, oh, well, perfect. That'll work for what I want to do. And the reason a little bit of discoloration works is because I'm doing this in all kind of blue tones, but like real wood obviously isn't like blue. So having a little bit of brown come through or tan will just make it look more realistic. So if you've been following this channel for a while and you're looking at this batter and you're like, dang, that's really light batter. This isn't my normal recipe. It's one I'm actually testing. So if it's successful, you will see it. If it's not successful, you may never see this video. You also may not see this video because, oh my God, my washing machine in the background is loud. I'm sorry, really sorry. Do I want to blend it a little bit more? How do you look? Are you emulsified? Yeah, you're emulsified. Okay, good. This recipe just doesn't have cocoa butter in it. Cocoa butter, whatever. You know what I mean. So it doesn't have a lot of shea. So it's a lot whiter just by basis alone of that. So, I don't want to put that in just yet because, he said it behaved. I just don't remember if it behaves that well. Let's split our colors off and then we'll add our fragrance oil. That sounds safer. Sorry, small break for my child who wanted to show me something. And yes, I turned the camera off. I barked at her and I turned it back on again because I love her. But obviously Mr. Cheeky is not doing a good job watching her. Mr. Cheeky isn't always very good at watching children. That's okay. He's very good at many things, but sometimes the children escape him. Anyway, and by children I mean goats and humans. So now we've got that split. And I don't want to use a whole bunch of some of these because I want to use that as my color. Can you guys see all that maybe? Let me just scoot all these forward. So now you can see. So I am going to leave a little bit in the thing so I can have some more of this, because I do want some of this to be gray, right? But I also want some of the gray to use as a highlight color. Oh, that's such a pretty gray. And then our white, actually I'm going to move down here because I'd like less. Do I want less white? Let's put some of you in here, because I really want the bulk of it to be that kind of pretty silvery color. I really like that. So we'll put that in the white. Okay, can you guys still? Yeah, you can. Okay, get them on camera. And if it looks a little brighter than normal, it's because I've actually got a light back here. You can kind of see the base there. I realize some of my videos, it's a little dark, and then I edit the light to come up a little bit more, but it's not necessarily the best lighting. So, and I need more spatulas. I love this sea green and that velvet pearl. It's like such a quintessential South Florida color. If you're not from South Florida, then it's like a tropics or Caribbean color. And I'm not sorry for loving it, because it's probably my favorite color in the whole wide world. It's so pretty. So pretty. That mica was thick. I'm trying to get all of it off my spatula. Okay. And then we need some of you. Yeah, look how nice that color is. So pretty and silvery and kind of bluey and kind of purple, which is like perfect for what we're doing tonight. And I've made, by the time you guys see this video, the other one should already be up. I've made a video on how I did my initial wood grain, the tobacco vanilla one. So this one I'll probably not release till a little bit later. It's always kind of weird to me because I end up releasing videos at different time points. So I talk about stuff like you guys have seen it. Like, of course you've seen it, because I haven't released some of them. So then I have people messaging me like, oh, you talk about this, but I have no idea what you're talking. Oh, of course you don't know what I'm talking about, because it doesn't exist yet to you. So I'm sorry for that. All right, so the white, I know it discolors brown, so we're not going to add any to the white. We're going to add some to the blue and some to the teal or turquoise or whatever color I want to call that. And it's a lot more to the silver and then to the gray. Okay, and it is still behaving. That's good. It's going to be really sad if this turned to immediate soap on a stack. Okay. All right, so now if you followed the first video that I did on the wood grain, which, like I said, should have been posted by now, so this will hopefully make sense. You'll remember that I kind of poured batter into one and then, poured the white at the end. So in this case, I kind of want them a little bit closer together. So we're going to do more of what you normally see in a wood grain, where you have an ITP. So I'm going to use another pitcher just so I can keep my colors nice. And I'm going to use this really nice, happy, bright teal. And we're going to pour him in the front. Come on. There we go. It's nice and liquidy still, so that's good. And then we're going to add the dark gray. More in the back. I'm trying to see, can you guys see? You can see how I'm pouring it. I'm going to try to pour it down the wall so it's more in the back of the pitcher. Like so. Gorgeous. And then we're going to add this nice dark blue, which I love this navy. And I'm still probably gonna get comments in the comment field of please share that. Sorry, I love you guys, but not yet. I'll probably share it with my cheeky charm club, but even then, I don't know. I'm a little protective over this one. It's a good color. Okay, and now the white. So now, when you add the colors like that, what ends up happening, just moving things out of the way so I can actually work. What ends up happening is it tends to go in there differently. I don't know how to explain this well. You'll see what I'm talking about in a minute. Hold on. One moment, please. Make our handy dandy thing here. Okay, can you guys see that? Yeah, you can. Okay, good. So it's the same technique as before. We're just going to go back and forth, trying to get this so the camera actually sees down here. Is that? Yeah, you can see. Okay, good. So we're just going to take this and go back and forth. And then, like I talked about in the first video, when we get kind of a cool pooling, we'll start making our knots. And I'm just going to go until I see the colors running out. Like a bigger knot there. And one of the other big hints that I gave in the first video that I will again, hit on again here is make sure that you're pouring down the wall. If you're not pouring down the wall, you're not going to get that really interesting look. So now we just do it all over again. So we pour mostly the silver. And then we pour the turquoise in the front. Like so. And drip it all over the front of the counter because Whitney can't be trusted with anything remotely clean. Again, pour down the back of this wall. And pour this in from the side. And I didn't add the oil to that one because that dark navy is actually doing a good job holding its own. So I may just keep the mica drizzle out, and that does alleviate some of the mess that the oil and the mica tends to make. Because unlike the first one where I had that fragrance oil that was, I know, going to be very, very naughty, this fragrance oil does discolor a little bit, but not like, take over the world discoloration. So I don't have to fight that as much. So I'm just trying to clean up my mess. All right, anyway, so now we've got our spots. Hooray. Now let's go back to pouring again. This is behaving nice, really, really well. So again, thank you to Nathan, Clover, Soapworks, Soapery for reminding me of this fragrance that I have. It's a great fragrance. I really like Muddy Soap Co. She's a smaller maker, a smaller business woman. And her testing isn't always super great. That's my only complaint, is that you kind of have to do your own testing. But she's a small business. I'm a small business. Why wouldn't I want to support a small business? So, and again, just doing these knots kind of every so often so I can see them in my final cuts. Okay. Set it back on again. That's going to look really cool when we cut it. I can already tell. All right, so now we pour basically the remainder of this. I'm going to save a little bit because I want to do some off pours of this. And I'm going to change it up a little bit. I'm going to put this dark navy in the front, maybe? Yeah, let's do the navy in the front. That navy with this steely blue gray is so pretty, and it pops so nicely. And let's put this turquoise in the back. And if you notice, I'm always pouring the same front, back, left, right. I mean, you don't have to do it that way. It works for me. And it also just helps me remember which way I was going to have, continuity in the soap. But now I'm switching it all around on purpose, except for the white. The white's the only one going in the same spot again. All right, so now let's get all these guys in. Again, can you guys? Yep, you can. Okay, good. All right, and let's do the same. And again, even though I'm getting closer to the top, I'm being very careful to pour down the side of the wall. And I know I'm probably gonna review this video later and be like, God, Whitney, you said that a lot. I'm saying it so much because I know with other challenges we've done in the Soap Challenge Club, you know, we've done similar looks or, you know, similar things like the One Pot Wonder, which is kind of reminiscent of a One Pot Wonder. And, you know, even now, like I'll have people like, oh, you're really good at that technique. What's the secret? It's not really a secret. It's just make sure your soap is hitting the wall first. That's, I guess, the biggest secret of this technique. So if I can give you any advice, that would be my advice, is make sure it's going down the wall. I like that turquoise next to that gray too. It's pretty. Oop, a little too fast there. See what I mean? When I don't pour down the wall, it pushes it out and you lose that pretty striping, which is so interesting, at least to me. All right, I need to add some more color. So it's basically just that silver now. I like that blue in the front, so we'll do that again. And this fragrance oil behaves very, very well. I mean, have a lot of time to play. This recipe is also a little bit more fluid than the other one I usually use on purpose. So I'm sure that's helping quite a bit, but it's nice that it's behaving so well, the fragrance oil. Okay. Move you guys out of the way. Come on, I'm on a good knot. There we go. That'll be a cool one. With that teal coming in. So now I'm getting to the part where I'm not going to be able to pour down the wall anymore because of just, you know, this mold is getting full. So I'm going to start letting it kind of angle back off of the mat a little bit. And I'm still going to try to pour on this side. I'm not going to try to let it pour on the back of it, right? I'm going to pour always down the same side I've been pouring down. And what that does is it helps keep the integrity of the design. I talk about that in the other soap I've made like this, but I figure it doesn't hurt to talk about it again. How much do I have left in there? Let's do it this way maybe. Some more of that pretty navy in since it's so fab. And this is just a much more fluid pour than my other one, so I have the time to play. And the first one I did, I was like, oh, get it in the mold. And I'm just gonna pour these into individual molds afterwards. So I'm just gonna try to get most of this out into here now, since it's well behaved and I have a moment to do this. That's a tobacco vanilla one. I am hurrying from start to finish. I'm definitely not this woo-dee-dee and play with this color and let's do this and let's do that. It's that fragrance makes you hustle. This one is this one's well behaved. Okay, and let's put you in on this side. Change it up a little bit. And last but certainly not least is this white. So we'll put that over here. Now this white has no fragrance in it, and notice how much thicker it is. So that Mahogany Teakwood really did a good job in reducing the trace. If you don't know what I'm talking about, that's just fancy talk for it slows down how quickly the soap goes from water to jello. And for most of this to work the way I want it to, I want it to be roughly, you know, gravy is the, I guess, the counterpart that you would be most familiar with. This is the first time you've seen soap making videos, or if you've heard people talk about trace and you're not 100% sure what we're talking about, it just means how quickly the soap is turning into soap. That's all it is, not exciting. And I have some more of the silver, which I'm gonna pour down the front. Because remember, I'm not gonna do a pretty top. You're not gonna see this top. Or if you do, it'll be on like, you know, 2 bars. So it behooves me to just go ahead and let it be good here. Again, I'm sorry, my washing machine is so loud in the background. It's hard to be mom and soap maker and work full time. So I gotta do my chores still. All right, let's wipe this up and pour the rest of this, and then the rest will go into little individual molds. Also gonna take this out. How? Setting up a little bit. Okay. Again, I'm just trying to continuing to pour from the same side I've been pouring on, so you're pushing it over. Come on, over. There you go. It's probably about as much as I'm going to get in that mold. Yeah, so that is that. I'm going to clean this up, pour this into something else, and I'll cut it. What will be my tomorrow will be your 3 seconds from now. But in the meantime, thanks for watching.
So I talked about how to cut this in my other video, and so I'm just going to show, again, I'm just cutting it into 2 big chunks. Here's the vertical side. It's very pretty. And then here is the other side of the soap. I'll just cut this part here, and then I turn it and cut it basically top down. So here I am just measuring to make sure they're the same distance here. Anyway, so that's all that's going to happen. I'm going to go ahead and put on some music and speed it up a little bit since this takes a minute and you've seen it before.